Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Matt Digman.
And I'm Roddy.
We're the authors of The Dark That Dwells, the debut in our sci-fi fantasy space opera series.
We're also the creators of the new series Doctoring the Books, where we share medical knowledge and know-how from our day jobs as ER doctors to help you add realism to your writing.
Today, we want to talk to you about getting in the mood.
I've been really trying.
The writing mood, that is. If you want to hear our thoughts on this essential part of the writing process and learn some tips that we found helpful for ourselves, keep watching.
So, you finally managed to get some time to yourself. Maybe you're even in your favorite place, with as few distractions as possible. Ideal, right?
More than likely, you have 15 minutes of downtime while you're waiting for something to happen. Maybe you're standing in line at the DMV, or maybe your professor's late to class. Maybe you're at work or on a break at work, or you have just a little bit of downtime that you're trying to fill.
So, you pull out your laptop, tablet, phone, actual paper and pencil, whatever it is, and you think to yourself, I should probably spend this time writing. After all, you're always saying, if you only had more time and less distractions, you could write a book in a month. So, you try. You have your favorite writing app open. Your pencil lead is out and ready to go. Your vision unfocuses as you try to imagine whatever it is you want to write about. But nothing happens. Instead, you check your email or stocks. One of 100 notifications an hour causes you to get lost in a virtual rabbit hole. Your pencil taps a blank page.
Why can't you do it? You told yourself you'd spend every free minute writing. Even if you only get out a paragraph here and there, it'll all add up.
I mean, James Patterson and Stephen King wrote 2 novels each while you rewatch that compilation of the same old vines you've seen 1,000 times. What's wrong with you?
Well, if you're anything like us, you aren't in the right headspace.
What's that mean? To us, it means your attention is unfocused.
It means you're everywhere but inside your story. It means you just aren't in the mood.
As a writer, you worry about mood from the standpoint of what your readers feel. As in, if a reader picked up this book for the first time and read this scene, how would it make them feel? What about the setting, the pace, and the characters makes them feel sad or happy or anxious? How could I elicit those feelings from that reader?
But we aren't talking about the reader today, we're talking about you, the writer. But who cares how you feel? You're supposed to make other people feel things. Why is your mood important?
Simple. Because you're an artist. What you create is art. And a great deal of art is born from emotion. Have you felt it before? That session where everything is clicking, and you can't stop putting words down on the page? It's almost like the material is writing itself. Your muse is on your shoulder, whispering in your ear. It's an amazing feeling, and writing is fun again.
But how does that happen? It certainly doesn't happen every time. In fact, you could go weeks or more between good sessions like that. What about that moment was special, and how can you make it happen more often?
Well, chances are your mood was perfectly aligned with what you were writing. You were in sync with your work. You were an artist, creating art.
We know because that's how it is for us. Want to know how we figured it out?
Because we've actively tried to boost our output. We've tried manipulating the environments we write in to up the productivity. We've given ourselves extra time to write. We've set deadlines and goals for ourselves. We even got plenty of rest. We organized and planned.
And all of those things did help, but they didn't help us belt out that word goal and have fun while doing it.
What we found is that you can dream up an amazing scene in bed. You can work out plot problems on a commute to work. You can whip up a whole new character arc in the shower. In fact, these are some of the times when the stars align. But when you sit down to put it on the page, it fizzles out. Every paragraph is like walking in sand with your story tied to your back. What changes between the shower and the couch?
In a word, you changed. You went from a creative mindset to one of a million others.
The couch doesn't have hot, steamy water and the meditation-inducing sounds and smells of a closed environment. It doesn't have that magic combo of both sensory input and lack of distraction that come together to nearly hypnotize you. Your couch has your paper that's due next week. It has your dog that wants to go outside. It has a television.
All of those things will vie for your attention. They'll cause you to feel stress, guilt, anxiety. They drag you away from the muse who is patiently holding out her hand.
In other words, you just went from the perfect environment for creation to the worst. You just destroyed your mood.
But go ahead. Try to write like that. Tell all those things to blow and go upstairs to your office. Lock yourself in your room. Float in salt water. It's not going to help.
Why? Because wherever you go, there you are.
This concept is a little hard to explain to those who haven't felt what we're talking about.
Have you ever walked through the woods, suddenly felt sublime, then stopped to write about it? Did you find it wasn't so hard to describe the way the sun breaks through the trees, or the way the leaves sway with the movements of the breeze?
Have you ever been so upset that you came home and wrote a song? What about a great scene rife with conflict and snappy dialogue? We'd argue that you weren't just killing it in those moments because the subject matter was fresh or right in front of your face. That might be the case for a nonfiction writer, but not you.
It was because your mind was affected by how those things made you feel. They put you into a mood. That mood drove you to create.
Why? Because you're an artist. Realize that. You are an artist.
A campfire needs wood. A tree needs sunlight. You need a mood.
Feed art with art. We love music as a way to get us into our respective moods. It's a great way to do this for multiple reasons, but it seems to us that music's deeply human. It's designed to manifest certain feelings, and there's usually a strong sense of nostalgia associated with certain songs. I mean, you know the songs that you go to when you're on a road trip, or after a breakup, or when you want to get pumped before the big game.
Most music will alter those brainwaves and get you into a state of mind. But which mood is right for you in your writing? In short, it depends on what you're writing. Even more simply, it depends on the scene and characters you're writing.
As an example, we'll use our character Tigger of Westmarch from The Dark That Dwells. This way, you'll see what we mean, and hey, if you like, you can read it for yourself and see if we delivered on what we intended.
Tigger is a complex character with motivations even he doesn't understand. He can be cruel, and he can be reflective. But most of the time, he's hell-bent on accomplishing his goals in spite of any resistance thrown his way.
So, how do we write a character who goes from 0 to 60 in 6 seconds? We channel that specific mood. We want music we can feel as it pumps up the blood pressure.
We get on our favorite music app and start searching. There's no shortage of action-oriented music to pick up the pace, and random playlists can help you find some real gems. Most recently, that involved the song Insertion from X-Men Dark Phoenix. It's heavy on discord, distorted electric guitar, and it's got a slowly building beat with an epic finish. It clearly has nothing to do with Tigger or our novel, but it's a great example of a song that can change your mood to something more in alignment with your hyper-violent villain.
Also, we've had a little help on the big scenes with Tigger from life when it gets a little frustrating. Going back to the example of the DMV, a particularly powerful scene with Tigger was written there, one in which Tigger faced a force of soldiers trying in vain to slow him down. Throw in a fight with one of our friends, an annoying student loan conversation, and a little afternoon traffic, and we were ready to storm the volcano fortress of Korvad alongside him. When Tigger climbed the pile of his enemies and took what he wanted by force, we felt the catharsis he felt. And if we felt it, hopefully our readers will feel it too. Emotion tends to bleed from the writer directly onto the page.
So we love music and harnessing real-life situations, but what if life's been great that day? What if there's nothing out there nudging you toward that tyrannical mood?
Well, got any movie scenes in mind? How about some hard-hitting battle scenes? Any film featuring a protagonist who satisfyingly reaches their goal against all odds?
What about other visual art? Concept art for games and movies can inspire a mood to come forth. Find artists to follow on social media, such as Pinterest, Tumblr, or ArtStation. They frequently post their works, and they need support too. And wasn't there a favorite book of yours that had that one cool scene? Did you feel like you were really there with the characters inside it? Go read that again and see if it inspires you. Whatever it is that triggers those feelings inside you is irrelevant. It's all about immersion and putting your mind in a different place.
But, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Maybe you can feel yourself resisting that particular mood you need, and that's okay. Don't you have another scene or project that aligns a little bit better with how you're feeling? Maybe you need a nap. Writing is always easier when you're well rested. Oh, and have you met our friend caffeine? A cup of tea or coffee really gets the brain working.
And after all that, if you find that your brain is still acting like a donkey that doesn't want to get up and move, try going through the motions anyways. See if it helps.
Get caffeinated and loosen up with some reading or gaming. Then get free of distraction and put in the headphones. Stare off into space or out of the window while the music plays. Just zone out. Think about the scene you want to write or what you need to accomplish there to move your story along.
If you picked the right music for the scene, you may see your characters start to do things. Maybe a conversation or dialogue starts to form. You're daydreaming with a purpose. Before long, you'll find your mindset shifted and the ideas can flow. Words yearn to be written. You'll look up and another 500, 1,000, or 1,500 words have happened. If you feel like doing more, great, do it. If not, go live your life and come back later. It all just depends on what's going on in the real world and how much time you have.
Okay, let's say you nailed it and you figured out how to change your mood when everything is perfect. But what about when you're out and about? You don't have your headphones or your laptop died. You only have those 15 minutes.
Well, don't write. Seriously, put that time towards planning or plotting. Pick a problem you've been putting off. For example, there's a major plot hole looming and you haven't figured out how to close it in a satisfying way. Well, mull that over, chew on it, and come at it from several different angles.
You can even plan out the major beats of a scene or arc in bullet form or in summary. Just doing that can help you see the problem more clearly. A lot of aha moments can come while riding in the car or standing in line. Later, when you can get into the mood and have more time, you'll hit the ground running with a pre-made roadmap driven by your fancy new mood.
So, did we help you realize that mood is one of the most important tools in a writer's toolkit? Did we give you some ideas to help get you going?
Hopefully, sharing our methods will help you figure out what works for you, unlocking that inspiration that seems to come all too infrequently with the struggles of a fast-paced, stressful life.
I have work, and then I have a dinner thing, and then I am busy trying to become who I am.
If you found this topic interesting or helpful, please consider liking and sharing it. And as always, hit that bell icon for notifications so you never miss when new content drops.
Check the comments out below and let us know if you found our info helpful. And if you're feeling generous, you can share some of your methods too.
After all, we're writers too, and we're always looking for new ways to get ourselves into the mood. And with that, we'll see you all next time.
Bye.